Hey, Doris
Hello.
and Miss Dolly.
Hey, Chuck.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at.
Hey, Chuck, I still didn't get your invite.
I have no idea why you're not, Doris, because it seems like it's just something that just happened. So,
Yeah,
um,
I managed to get it from Candy.
there you go. Are you guys neighbors?
Same state.
How close are you in from her?
Probably not that far.
What's that far? 20 miles?
Probably 20 or 30 miles.
Oh, that's not bad. So you are practically neighbors. That's got a very cute picture, Dolly.
Thank you.
That's a cool. It's a very neat setting. It seems like it's your comfy spot.
Yeah, actually, that was a photo shoot for a magazine before I went to New York Fashion Week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. That's a nice photo.
I am exhausted. I went today and brought the kids to Chuck E. Cheese. And then we went to a movie and we just got home. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Where do you live in Florida, don't you?
I do. I live in the Panhandle.
Oh, okay.
How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Bob, how are you?
Good. How you doing today?
Good.
Hey, Shelley.
It's Chuck. What? Hey, I'm gonna put my little hat back on here because my hair's all icky. Where's my hat? Can I have my hat, please? My hat makes my head feel so much better because my hair's all icky. I was wearing it. Oh, you know what? You're on with lots of other people. Where's my cute hat? That's a very cute hat. I have a cute hat. Where'd it go? Where? Oh, I took it off because I wanted. Oh, kind of. Not anymore. Not anymore, dude. All right, I got my cute hat on. I got my little thing here to lift up my computer. See that, you guys? All the money I've spent on you. Oh, there you go. Oh, la, 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 la. Hello. Da, da, da. All right. Well, there's my beautiful Darlene, Robert, and Shelley. All right, everybody unmute unless you've got small children in the background. I have Josh. Don't even. Oh, actually, Shelley does have small children. You can unmute. I don't care. Unmute. It is like having a small child with you. Come over here. Say hello to everybody.
Who's everybody?
Ellie and Dolly and Jenny and Shelley.
and Jenny.
And everybody's
Kane,
name ends with an
Doris.
I. Dolly, Jenny, Shelley, Bobby, Candy, and Doris. And just so you know, I have not been drinking a thing.
Me either.
I have not done anything, which is really unfortunate. My daughter asked me last night, "You on drugs?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. If I was on drugs, baby, I would tell you." Although I did just have a very interesting experience. And Chuck, where's Chuck? Is he? Oh, yeah. So I'm calling all of these clients who are on the radio show and in the magazine, and Daphne's having me sit here call people who have not signed their contracts. And I get on the phone with a gentleman who is going to join us in a few minutes. And you guys are going to be blown away. I don't care what's going on in your life, including Candy and Dolly and Jenny and Shelley. Your story is not as bad as his. Your story is not as bad as his. And here's the funny thing, Chuck. I called this guy thinking his name is this Michael so-and-so, and he says, "That's not my name." I said, "Well, do you know Andrew Loringer?" And he says, "No." Turns out he does know Ray. Turns out that he ended up as a tech guy going blind. And he has, in fact, started an amazing company and done phenomenal things, but there's no real reason why I ended up calling him. Completely, it got inspired by accident. Does that make sense? And he hadn't even paid in full, and Daphne said only talk to the people that are paid in full. He hadn't. Something in the universe just said call him, and he turns out to be a master at monetizing your back-end list. Really? And he's blind. And he's got an amazing team. And he's living an amazing life. Hello, we all just stop bitching. And I mean that on every single level. Next time you hear somebody who's complaining about anything.
No wonder he never responded to my text.
Well, no, that's not true. He does respond to text. It's just not his email. His name is not Bledsoe, Chuck. I don't know how we got all this mixed up. It doesn't even matter. It's the funniest story ever. But he's going to join us. And he is the nicest man. And he's like, "Look, I'll just help you. How can I help support what you're doing?" I'm like, wow, really? And then I had Denise come over today. And Denise just lost her husband 4 weeks and 19 days ago, who she loved desperately. The two of them, you never got to meet Quincy. Chuck did, who sang at my birthday party for the last couple of years since I've met him, is one of the sweetest, most amazing men ever. and he just left the planet. But the one that's really getting me, and I couldn't get out of bed yesterday, I could not function all day yesterday, is that Larry Thomas, and none of you have met her, but you've all seen her because she's in one of my videos. She's a girl that I plucked out of the audience in front of 600 people for this video. And I'm going to play that real quick for you because it's a powerful video. And I just grabbed her.
Did you go see her?
Not yet.
I have the address now from where she's been transferred to.
Oh, I talked to her today.
Perfect.
And this is Larry,
I want to be able to earn
who
enough.
has been part
Mentally
of
or
Forbes
physically?
Factor for the last couple of years since this video
You can do
happened.
it. You don't have to wait for a boss anymore. What do you want? Look at me. What do you want? I want to be able to earn enough to take care of myself and my kids. Yeah, that's nice. What do you want? Help veterans. What do you want? To improve myself. I am. I'm just too excited, and it's just this whole thing has just been such a great learning experience. It really has.
This video changed my life. I didn't pay for it. It was given to me as a gift because, as we talk about life happens for you, not to you, that particular event, I was screwed over. That's fair to say, right, Chuck?
Yeah.
I was screwed over by the organizers who told me the night before, in no uncertain terms, little girl, you cannot sell anything to the 600 people there. And kind of threatened my people. They were in the back of the room. They kicked them out of the audience. It was a very bad experience on a lot of levels, but I gave what is arguably one of the best performances I've ever done up until that point. Plucked Larry out of the audience, and I got given that videotape as a gift by guys who charge $2,000 a day as videographers, and they handed that to me about 2 years ago, and I watched it, and it changed my interpretation of who I am to the world and set me on a path that nothing else could have. Funny, I got screwed over, and that's how I got the video that changed my life. So I plucked Larry out of the audience. Larry has been devoted to me because I changed her life. She lost 60 or 70 pounds with me. She was on fire as a businesswoman. She volunteered for every Forbes Factor. For those of you who joined us last time, she was not there because she wasn't feeling very well. She had a little pain in her back. That was January. Now it is March, and she is in the hospital with brain cancer, bone cancer. It's metastasized. And I talked to her today, and I don't think that she's going to live out the year. And she's got two young kids who are 16 and 18, and she's really scared for them because their dad was killed in a motorcycle crash, and they don't have anybody else. And so part of me is trying to figure out, do we do a GoFundMe out to the world so that we can help? She needs $50,000 to buy the land under her place so they can put another trailer on it. They live in a trailer. It's not even like she's asking for very much from life. So I'm going to put it out there to our friends here to figure out what we can do to support Larry. I don't know, honestly. I know we can create a GoFundMe, which when I talked to her boyfriend, she said he didn't want, but she does. And she's real scared. She doesn't even have insurance. So I'm open to any suggestions. And if I do create this, I'll ask you guys to help me promote it and see what we can raise. Because there's a lot of people out there with a lot of excess, and there's going to be two little kids who will have no parents. And they're good kids, and she's done a lot of good for us. And that's that. So, how are you guys doing? I would love to hear a win from everybody since everybody seems to be here tonight, and I could use to be cheered up. So, on your path to your personal greatness, let's start with Miss Doris. Tell me a win.
I got some merchandise in today.
Congratulations. And you are moving and grooving, and I know how hard you guys work. Tell John I said hello. Miss Candy.
I am going to be on Teresa and Amy's show tomorrow.
Candy, but we don't have a very good, we can't hear you very well. I don't quite know why.
Sorry.
And while Candy's doing it, I'm going to type in a name in the chat. Would you all copy this? I don't know. I think it's Pips Frank. This is my girlfriend, Denise. I asked her today when she came over to help me, she's the one who lost her husband, to do a Facebook Live, one a day for the next 30 days. We did one on my Facebook. And I told her that you need to get on Facebook every day. And she's like, every day? I said, yeah. I said, because at some point, and Quincy's watching you, it is okay for you to be happy again. It is okay for you to live your life. And I said that people would chime in, and if you build it, they will come. So tomorrow morning, if she found 10 new people who all said, hey, you go, girl, that would be your good deed for the day. And I will tell you, the more karma that you build up for yourself, the more that just is good to have in the bank. So Jose, welcome. All right, Miss Candy Lynn, tell me a win. Which, by the way, that rhymes.
Okay, so tomorrow I will be a guest for Teresa and Amy's show. So you guys better watch it.
Yeah.
All right, it's a homework for you guys. You guys better go on and give me some support.
Okay, so to do that, go right to the chat right now and give us a link so we know how to easily find you.
Okay, sounds good.
And by the way, doesn't it just feel good to have that kind of energy that Candy's like, look what I'm doing now, as opposed to when we saw her pre-Forbes Factor when it was like, I don't know what to do. I like this girl much, much better.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And it is part of why I'm not letting anybody else into this group unless you're a year-long Forbes Factor person, because in fact, Chuck, if you would call Stacy Saints and see where she is, please. All right, Miss Jenny Traver, I've missed you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I had an awesome day today. I woke up and decided I wasn't meant to be at work, so I took a me day and have made more progress in the last, I don't know how many hours it's been now that I've been at it, than I have in the last month. The biggest win for me today is that I connected with a speech pathologist who lives outside of Boston, who is doing private practice and therapy. And she's also created online courses and is doing a lot of training and education. So she's doing a lot of what I want to do, and I'm hoping to seal the deal and make her a mentor of mine.
Congratulations. Excellent. Shelly, my girl, how are you and Craig doing?
Well, we're doing pretty good. A win for probably us collectively. So last night, kind of impromptu, got invited to this dinner with a bunch of real estate investors from all over the country. So we kind of just left work early, just ran out of Boston and had a really good networking dinner.
Excellent. Good for you guys.
So the win for me in that is the fact that Craig decided to seize the opportunity and actually go. Because so often there is just a lot that we have to juggle. It was very impromptu. My friend texted me at like 10 a.m. and was like, hey, you want to come and meet me in downtown Boston? You know anything about downtown Boston traffic? We're like, ooh, yeah, I'm not sure, right? But it was just a good opportunity. Craig was coming from New Hampshire. He was sick. We were like, what do we do with the kids? But we're like, let's just figure it out. Commit, say yes, and then figure it out. And it was amazing. So that was.
One of our friends said, what you do is you throw your hat over the fence and then you just go get it.
Yes, I like that.
I know, I like that one too, because that's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah.
So I have a crazy story like that. Somebody picked up the phone, I don't know, a year or two ago and said, hey, Ty Lopez is doing a whatchamacallit in his house in California. I said, well, I'm happy to be in California. I said, can you get me invited? He said, sure, I'll put you on the guest list. Packed up everything, drove the hour and a half down there, walked in, couldn't find Ty, but found his mom and all of his staff in the kitchen sponging with the Crow crew. Next thing, Ty and I spent an entire hour in his kitchen. That's a good way to meet Ty Lopez, in his kitchen. They then say, hey, you know what, after this, we're going to the Laugh Factory. You want to come? I just said yes. I used to work at the Laugh Factory many years ago. The owner was still there. I got the warmest welcome. All of these 22-year-olds think I walked on water. They all want to come to my house the next day to talk about life. I don't know. I've got like 6 22-year-olds. And one of the guys shows up, and his name is Human Nori. Human has 131 million likes on one of his videos. And they all say to me, hey, we're going to go down to this YouTube party. It's now like 5 o'clock in the evening. This YouTube party in San Diego, a 3-hour drive. And I said, sure, let's go. And I sat in his Mustang, and we became buds over. because part of Mark was going, oh, fuck, I'm not going to go over. That's a 3-hour drive. Best thing I ever did. I literally that entire 2 days kept throwing my hat over the ring and said yes and yes and yes. And so congratulations, because it also just made it a great story for you guys. So I am actually, thanks to AJ, got invited to a big real estate convention. And I actually want to figure out how to make 360 work for the real estate community.
Yes.
So maybe I'll talk to you guys about that as a group to figure out what buttons and what we really want to include. But right now, I would like to give a very warm welcome. There is Michael Arvitman. And everybody give a big round of applause, very loud. So Michael, who I just met today. Michael, this is my group of year-long coaching clients. It's some of my clients. It's my more active.
Oh, great. Pleasure to meet everyone.
There are about 15 people online. And so I don't know how I met Michael, except that God said, you two connect. Now that's so funny, because when I asked Denise, who was here today, how she met her husband who recently passed away, she smiled and said at a museum. She was going down the stairs, he was going up the stairs, and he looked at her and said, wow, you're hot. And 9 years later, they've been in love ever since. And I thought, that never happens, right? So I was vacuuming. Doris, are you vacuuming?
Sorry, that was my automated vacuum going. I apologize.
Your automatedly vacuum, Dolly, you can come to my house anytime. My vacuum does not automate shit. And so I have no idea how Michael and I met, except that I picked up the phone to make a business follow-up call, and he answered. Still not sure why we talked. Turns out that he is a genius when it comes to back-end marketing. I'm a genius when it comes to front-end marketing. He has a killer story, as do many of my clients on this training. Michael, what you don't know is you've got people here who have suffered death and murder and discrimination and being physically completely different and lawsuits and different countries, all kind of crazy stories to come to this group. The thing that unites us, though, is that we've all been through my Forbes Factor 5-day training and took all of our limiting beliefs, stuck them on a tree, and said, we're going to go forward anyway, because inside the word belief is a lie. And I don't care if somebody tells you you can't. The answer is #WatchMe. And you're talking to a group of #WatchMe. So everybody, Michael, will you share your story with everybody?
Of course, of course. So just for a little background, I have my PhD in computer science. I grew up being a tech nerd, loving computers, and I became a chief technology officer when I turned 30. And so I created some software for the Bank of India. I flew overseas to implement the software, train the staff, hire and train the staff. And while I was there, I contracted an eye infection called uveitis. It's pink eye, but it attacks inside your eye on your retinas instead of on the outside. So I woke up 3 days before my 1-year wedding anniversary, which was 9 months later, and I couldn't see. So I got rushed to the hospital. My doctor performed surgery on my right eye and told me that he was, the next day unable to repair it. So we did surgery on my left eye, but because the damage was so much that he luckily he was able to reattach the retina, but I'm only able to see light out of the corner of my eye. So now I'm blind. And my job told me that we were not seeing eye to eye on the way the technology department was being ran. And they said that they'll either fire me or force me to resign. So I resigned and I tried to learn how to live being blind. So it took me 2 years to find all the resources that were necessary for me to return my life back to some normalcy. And I thought that took way too long. So I created a social networking site for people with medical conditions and disabilities called Medabilities. And what it does is it connects people to other people, organizations, support groups, news, doctors, and events that are all specific to a person's medical condition or disability. And I became very well versed in monetizing the database and generating a reoccurring revenue, averaging $2 to $6 per month per person in my database. And I started teaching seminars on how to monetize your database, because it doesn't matter what industry you're in or what business you have, you should be able to monetize your data just like Facebook and Instagram does. So I was at a seminar and I was approached by 9 investors, and they told me that they wanted to start investing in technology but needed a nerd as a partner. Would I be their nerd? And I said, absolutely. So that was the start of Blind Tech. And 9 years later, we're up to 19 total investors. We grossed $1.7 million last year. And we now help entrepreneurs and business owners that want to monetize their data by investing in them, helping them, and teaching them what we know. I work with Florida International University, which is a college in South Florida where I live. And I help the entrepreneurs there. We invest in their platforms. You know, we never ask to get paid back. If the person needs our help in monetizing and wants me to be hands-on, we ask for a little equity that we get paid out when people give themselves bonuses or sell the company. And if not, we're just happy to donate and for advertisements based on their platform. And we're going strong. We've done over 117 platforms over the past years and are always looking for new projects and new partners.
Well, congratulations and welcome aboard. You know, on this call, aside from declaring our wins, our losses, our obstacles, and our resources, which we do on a regular basis, we also turn the tables and let my students, for about 15, 20 minutes, teach a topic of their choice. 2 weeks ago, we learned about ManyBots. We've learned about morning routines. Who went last week? Because I was in, Jenny, what did you talk about last week?
I talked about caring for the caregiver, tips to support caregivers.
Uh-oh.
I believe very strongly in that as well. My network, you know, when I designed it, there was no resources for my wife. Everything was for the people that were blind, but nothing was for the spouses of someone that's blind. And we created a little support group on the platform where she was able to talk with other people that have blind spouses to, you know, learn what tips and tricks to make life easier and you know, support one another because they literally get no love. So you're 100% right on that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I took a little vacation. I'm sorry, Jenny, I apologize, my computer totally shut down.
No problem.
Jenny, what did you talk about last week?
I was talking about tips and resources for caring for the caregiver, how we can best support them as they support their loved ones.
Excellent. Michael, would you mind taking the floor tonight for a couple of minutes and sharing with us how we are best able to monetize our back end and our database?
Of course. So whenever you have your business, you're going to start collecting data for your business at a very small scale where you'll collect email addresses or cell phone numbers. For my expertise, the email addresses are better. The more and more data that you can collect on a person, the more and more, the more direct target audience you can offer businesses that want to advertise to a particular group of individuals. So, for example, if someone just wants to email everybody in a particular city, like New York City, they would pay a flat amount of whatever that dollar amount is, and then they would advertise to everybody in your platform located with the geo services of New York City. Now, if you start collecting other data from them, like if they're male or female, their age range, their ethnicity, their salaries, their, you know, whatever your website is catered around or your application is catered around. So, for example, you know, I'm a caretaker for a loved one that has insomnia or Alzheimer's. Now that allows us to then monetize the platform at a much deeper level. Now, instead of charging $50 a month, we'd be able to charge $35 a day to companies that want to target women between the ages of 18 and 50 that are caretaking for someone with Alzheimer's. It allows for these direct marketing opportunities that get taken to a very, very specific level. And the deeper the level you go, the more money you can charge. Now, normally you need roughly 10,000 people on your platform before you get any type of real traction. Because at 10,000 people, you're now searchable for free on Google without having to pay Google AdWords to get on the front page. And Google sees the traffic that you have on a daily basis and starts pushing advertisers towards your platform and people towards your platform because they see that you are now relevant. So up until 10,000, you have that double-edged sword at the beginning, which is I want people to use my platform and then I want businesses to advertise, but businesses wouldn't be able to advertise on a platform that doesn't have a lot of people. So you have to be creative. That's why I say you use just a blanketed template at the beginning of just everybody in my network. And you don't target necessarily local businesses, but businesses that have an online service. Because if you're online and you can cater to everybody that has access to the internet, that's a very good start. So from there, you start building your database, and the more and more specific in the data that you get, again, no matter what the business is, the more money you're able to then tweak out of businesses to help give you that reoccurring monthly revenue without selling any data. My wife's OBGYN, she delivered both of my daughters, and we reconfigured her website for her. So now when companies want to target women that need to go see an OBGYN, they pay her and advertise on her platform. My family jeweler that we've been dealing with for over 19 years, we created his platform for him. And when someone goes and search for engagement rings, there's advertisements for bridal gowns, flowers, greeting cards, invitation cards, linen rentals, etc. Then when somebody goes and searches for a men's Rolex, you see men's shoes, men's suits, exotic car rentals, and exotic vacations. And they're all paying an arm and a leg to him to advertise to his customer base of 1,000 people. And he's not on Google, searchable on Google for free, but he's monetizing the 1,000 customers that he currently has, because it's a customer base that has excess money to spend on jewelry. And if you have extra money to spend on jewelry, that's safe to say that you have extra money to spend on eating out or vacationing or movies or other types of entertainment. And that's the target audience for his customer base. So no matter what your customers are, no matter what your base is, there's ways where, now we never sell our data either. That's illegal. What we do though is we're used as a hub. So you have to create your platform and utilize it as a hub that connects businesses to individuals that are looking for relevant businesses in their area or online. That's very key. And the algorithms that we create, they're able to pick up on that over time. And the more and more the person uses it, the smarter the system becomes, and the more direct ads you'd see. So, for example, if you're into video games and you're scrolling through your timeline, you'll notice that every fourth or fifth ad might be a video game ad. YouTube tries to do something similar. When you start browsing for various YouTube videos, every 10th one might be a sponsored link for something that you showed interest in once before. And the AI is always learning, but those target videos and ads are seen as to make your experience on the platform better, not just a flashing banner to make you click.
Okay, so Michael, I have a question for you. So Michael, I've got a gentleman on the line named Bob Martinez, who's a specialist when it comes to disaster cleanup. So help me understand how this works. So he has a company that does disaster cleanup, and he's very successful in this world. He obviously has a customer database. Now, are you saying that we should take his website and put ads on it, or take his database and do something with it? And he's specifically on the line at the moment. Bob, say hi.
How you doing? I was wondering the same thing. And how do you separate it? And what are you using to get paid?
Of course. So for my specialty, we need to create a platform, whether it be a website or an app. And through the website and the application, whether it be a messaging app for family members to stay in touch with one another, or some type of way for family members to connect in a disaster recovery situation, like a walkie-talkie based app or an internet or cellular based walkie-talkie app, we would create a platform for you that is on the front end would be utilized in your industry. And then, which we can brainstorm about. And then on the back end, what we do is we would contact companies that want to advertise to people, not only in your area, but have to go through the rebuilding process and dealing with insurances and all the damage that are there, which includes landscaping, paint, furniture, electronics, picture restoration, all of that, in regards to any type of disaster, God forbid. But, people need help. Blue Cross Blue Shield needs, people need to see that there's options out there for them to help. So even at the nonprofit level, you can still have advertisements on your platform. But if it's a nonprofit, you have to theme it as getting a donation in exchange for this. Kind of like the way when you watch PBS specials, they say that if you donate $50, you'll get a DVD and a T-shirt. You're not buying the DVD and a T-shirt. That's just a gift in exchange for a donation. So no matter whether it's for-profit or nonprofit, we cater the website to be the hub, the access point for all of the advertisements and transactions. That's been my specialty and what I became very good at.
So Bob, ask me another question.
Well, that, and then two, for customers, it's fine, but I also, right now, my strength is I'm doing a lot of work with my competitors. And the profit's there. So what I'd like to turn it into is basically just a hub to give out work. Almost like
That's
a mini, nationally, because then I don't have to worry about insurance. I don't have to worry about employees. I don't have all that stuff I worry about it now, because our business is so up and down. You make a lot of money fast, but then you don't have the bad weather and your account's dry in a month. So I'd like, if I could build it where I'm selling the work that comes in to the other contractors across the country, and then get some of the repairs like you're talking about for the construction, et cetera. The other guys, same thing, advertise to get that end.
Sure. Now, Bob, you're already thinking at phase 2 and 3 of developments. There's not a lot of business owners that have that broader picture. So it's great that your mind is already there. So what we would create for that specific situation instead is a disaster recovery platform where all contractors, anybody that has any types of services and goods can log in. And then people that have a disaster anywhere across the country, really anywhere in the world, can, post what issue they're having, and then they can receive various bids, kind of like, how Angie's List works or Home Improver works. And then it would become a lead generator for the companies that offer those services, but it would be free quotes for the people that really need the help at the time. And then you would be able to benefit because all of the different contractors would then be bringing in their database and their advertisements. So now you're adding more and more people to your database without doing any of the work, which then allows now for you to monetize on everybody else's work and data. So that is a much, much better way to do business.
Okay, and how would you figure out the price? Because right now I've got 19 guys or 21 competitors in my area. And they give me, basically we swap work at all different. We got window washers now, just a bunch of stuff, and it's 10%. So like, I don't know, last month, I just got a check for $1,800 for referral. I got another $500, another $300. So I probably did $3,000 last month. The month before, probably $6,000, $7,000. And it's all just from the referrals. So what I'm trying to do is grow. We do disaster restoration, but when it's slow times, well, we're already in homes. People trust and like us. So now people need window washing. They need carpet cleaning. They need heating and AC guys. They need electricians. So I want a piece of everything that gets done in that home.
So Bob, what it sounds like is you might want to become the Angie's List of disaster.
And that's what I'm trying. How do I do that nationally, and how do I grow it faster here? Because right now I'm doing it onesie, twosie. Like I said, I think I got 21 guys right now, and we meet monthly. So our next meeting's April 9th or something. But I want to grow it faster.
Of course. The one thing you have to first decide is, do you want this to be something that you control, that you're going to refer your other partners to, or are you looking to bring partners in where you all collaborate on one project? Because the approach would be different. Which approach would you prefer?
I just want to give the lead and take my 10%. What they do with it,
perfect.
They do the construction, clean up, whatever. It's their lead. It's done. All I want is my 10%.
Great. So this would be my strategy, just based off of our 2-minute conversation, right? We can go more in depth to it, at your convenience. Okay. So what we would do is we would map out a platform that is the Angie's List, like Forbes said, for disaster recovery, and no one will know that you own it, right? With this methodology, right? This is just a platform that's made that you're going to then tell your other guys that you are on. And they should also be on this because it allows you guys to communicate seamlessly online instantly. And it'll become a lead generator over time. So you would first build the platform, and then you start getting your 19 other contract partners on the platform. Then you would start advertising on social media locally to the cities that have to deal with disaster recovery on a regular basis. You can start with your town, your city, your state first. And then you branch off organically to the surrounding states. Because again, if someone goes through a disaster, but there's no companies on there to help them, then the website, they will never visit again. So you have to make sure that when you grow, you have businesses on there first, and you can utilize your town as the model, saying, look, we're in my town, We need contractors in other states. That way we can expand. Would you like to go in here and just receive leads periodically at no charge? And I say at no charge because there's a way in which you can utilize your data to maximize the revenue and give the platform for free. There's a very popular messaging app called WhatsApp. You may have heard of it or not.
Yeah.
But it's a text messaging app where you can text internationally just on a data plan. It used to be, when I used it, $1 a year, and they were up to 500 million users. So they were making $500 million a year, extraordinarily successful. Facebook offered them $20 billion for their company. And when they asked Zuckerberg why it's going to take you 40 years to make your money back, he said, no, it's not. He made the application free, and then he went from 500 million to 1.2 billion users, and through the advertisements, he made his money back in 6 months.
Wow.
So, and everybody was, floored, and the people that sold WhatsApp were very upset that they're like, man, if we had his vision and his understanding, we could have literally made 40 years worth of salary, of profit in 6 months. So that would be the goal in which I always try to strive people towards, right? It's okay if you start off charging because you do need immediate money to have your business grow, and you continue to use your leads and your referrals the way you're doing it. But if you then shift that a little bit to imagine how many more leads people would try to get from you, and how many more people would go to your platform if they didn't have to worry about paying 10%. And because you own the platform, you control the data. And since you control the data, you're able to then monetize it with all the businesses that want to advertise to anybody at all. Hotels, food, drinks, supermarkets, everybody around your surrounding area, donating nationally, globally, internationally, everybody would be on your platform helping. You can do crowdfunding for the families. That way the families would then blast it out to everybody in their network. And you would be seen as by not taking a percentage, this website would be seen as a holier than thou saving platform for people. But you're doing it knowing that you're able to monetize on every person's data that logs in to give. So you're doing good by not charging, and you're able to generate extra money because now you're not only having businesses advertise, but people are advertising.
But when you say, Michael, when you say that you use the data, but you don't sell in your data, what do you do with those names? Do you offer them to those people? How do you actually monetize the name when you're not selling a data thing?
The algorithm that you create presents their ads to people on your platform that they are looking for, whatever specific targeted audience that the business that is paying you needs to be seen in front of. So you just make sure that they get seen by those people, and it's in their timeline enough over the month where anything more than 7 times people tend to click on. If you see an ad 1 or 2 times, nobody clicks on that. But if you see the same ad 7 or 8 times and it's something you're interested in, you might click on that video just to see what it's about. So it's all a straight numbers game.
So Dolly, why don't you ask Michael a question about the skincare industry that you're in and how you might be able to monetize this?
Yeah, I'm sitting here taking, tons of notes, and I want to just take a second to say thank you for giving us all this information. It is something that is it's invaluable. So I just want to thank you for that.
I appreciate those kind words. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I'm hearing, some of these, keywords that you're saying, like the algorithm, and a lot of this is still very foreign to me. I'm learning the whole online side. I am more right now a day spa and skincare that's mainly sold in person at my store, but I'm trying to kind of dabble into the online side of it. And I have about roughly like 2,000 emails of contacts that I already have currently through the coming into the spa. How would I start even, getting into, using that side?
Sure. So that's a great industry. So there's two ways that you would have to think about this first. The first decision to make is, do you want to have a website just for you and your products? Or would you prefer to have a platform where everybody that sells and manufactures skincare products and things related to that utilize as well?
I'm definitely open to anything at this point.
Okay, so if you create this platform where it's called a micro network, right? And not micro because of the amount of users, but micro because of what people go to that industry for. Like WebMD, for example, is a micro network. It's for medical conditions and information on what's wrong with me and symptoms. So that's considered a micro network, even though it's 900 million users globally. So when I use the term micro network, that just means it has a niche, its own niche. And when I use the word algorithm, what that means is a set of instructions that the platform or website does automatically without me having to manage it manually every day.
Okay.
So algorithm is just a set of instructions. So what we could do for that industry is we would have this platform, this website or this app that everybody that's in your same situation utilizes. People that have products for skincare that they'd like to sell. Then people would download the app, they would upload their information, they would create a profile, and they would showcase their products and pricing. And then you would then advertise to people that normally buy your products. So our biggest thing is to lower your cost of customer acquisition to under $2. If we can lower, how much it costs to get a new customer into your database. And if we can lower that to less than $2, we then know that that is a worthy investment because we'd be able to make that up next month in advertisement revenue.
All right, quick question. I hate to stop you. So how do you configure that? Like, I'm not sure what that means as like getting it down to less than $2. Like what does that mean?
Okay, so whenever you go to get a customer into your business, there's a cost to it, right? Whether you have a storefront or you have an online business, you have to pay to advertise in order to have people walk in your store or visit your website. So for example, let's say on Facebook in 1 month, you spend $500.
I haven't spent anything yet. That's why I'm just curious. Like, I guess that's where
I'm just giving you some examples, right?
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
If you spend $500 on a social media campaign and you see that after spending $500 in advertisement, you get 100 people that visit your website. We then, divide 500 by 100 and we get 5. So we know that our cost of customer acquisition is $5.
Got it.
So
all right, that makes sense.
Great. And that's with anything. That's, if you print out paper and you stick it on cars in a parking lot, for example, right? The price that it cost you to print out that paperwork and the time that it took you to put on all the cars, you just divide that by how many customers then turn and contact you about your product, and that incurs your cost of customer acquisition. Now we could take that a step further and then worry about conversion ratio. Because out of every 100 people that see your product or website, 2 or 3%, so 2 or 3 of them should either buy your product or download your app and convert to a user.
Okay.
That's average. Now, 5 and 6% is very good, and 8 to 10% you need to be a celebrity status, and then you average 8%, 10% or higher. But just for the average, mom and pop, startup, 2 to 3% is the norm. Anything more means you're doing a fantastic job. Anything less means you're not meeting the norm. It doesn't mean you're doing bad. It just means that's not in the bell curve of normality. So can we tweak it to make it, make that cost a little bit lower to then help you get into the normal bell curve? And, for example, an agency might spend $1,000 a month on social media marketing, and that is a ton of money. That is a ton, right? That's like what banks and urinary tract infection pill manufacturers spend. And with that much money, you should roughly get 600 to 800,000 people in your data, visit your platform. Seen at that point. And out of those 600 to 800,000 people that see your platform over a year, you're looking at 2 to 3% conversion rate. So, let me figure out what's 2% of 600,000. Computer, what's 2% of 600,000? It's 12,000, right? So roughly 12,000 people over that year should sign up for your platform. And then the following year, with 12,000 people in your database, on average with the businesses, what they're willing to pay to advertise to them, you should make $24,000 a month reoccurring, even if you don't get anybody else on your platform at all or sell another product. You can give away products for free in exchange for their email address to get them on the website if it's less than $2, because over the year you're going to make $24 from them in ads. So it takes the Facebook and Instagram methodologies of doing business and just applying that on a micro network. That's what Facebook does. That's why Facebook and Instagram want you to use their platform for free and gather followers and friends and likes. And it dives into the social psychology of people feeling good for getting a lot of likes. You know, if you have 500 followers on Instagram, Instagram is getting between $1,000 and $3,000 a month from you and not giving you anything for it.
Wow.
So they want you to utilize their platforms, and they want you to because psychologically you're happier when people like your picture, like your comment, like your status, and like your update. But if you're able to then look past that and forget about the psychology behind it and want to turn it into monetization and being, you know, valued for what you're worth, you start converting your users on social media to your own platform. That way you're able to monetize them the same way Facebook and Instagram are monetizing it off of you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So whose head is going, how much money did I just leave on the table? Hello?
My mind's blown.
All right. So Jose, go for it.
Hey, Michael. I'm really interested in learning how I can create my own system to when to gather like my own users or tribe. I know Facebook is coming out this next month with a big change in their targeting for their demographics. They got a lot of discrimination stuff, so they're going to be losing a lot of their targeting capabilities. And I want to be able to create my own thing to help my audience because I know.
So wait. Step back, Jose. Tell us what you know that you've not told us.
Okay, next month Facebook is coming out with they got hit with pretty bad from, I think it's HUD, the HUD Foundation, saying that they were discriminating against how they were presenting their ads, that they were not showing ads to certain audiences and to other audiences, and that's really just great targeting, but they got hit pretty bad, so they're going to take away something and make a general, so you can't pinpoint really. I mean, it's going to be a little more difficult. It's going to separate the good marketers from the bad ones, basically. And the ones who know their stuff would be able to still target and go through stuff. But if not, it's going to affect a lot of people.
Okay, so what are you telling us?
Okay, I just found out for myself that I need to be able to. Most of my target audience want to understand what their demographics are, who to target and what, so I'm looking for a way to do that. But I think for Facebook, it's going to be a little more expensive, and the good marketers are going to stand out now for doing ads and all that stuff.
So, Michael, how do you feel about what he just said? Is it true, not true? What is your take on that?
Well, from my understanding, Facebook is now shifting their online statuses to where everybody can message one another across all of their platforms. And I know that they're just not allowed to share the data with like Cambridge Analytics and companies like that. They are adjusting their prices, and I like why they're spinning it that way. But the real reason is they're losing their biggest advertisers, like auto industries, are no longer advertising on Facebook because they've come to the realization that nobody buys a car because of an ad on Facebook. So Facebook is spinning it a little bit from my understanding and pitching it as if, hey, we're offering this now because we're making it better for the user. But in fact, they're just doing it to help themselves make more money, right? And help convert some of their losses so that their shareholders don't get pissed and start sell everything off. So the way that you can best monetize that is just build your network organically, right? If you have your organic network, which organic means your own homegrown network, where you go out and you dedicate time, or you have somebody on your team dedicate at least an hour or two a day to social media, building your base, following people, having them follow you back, looking for people in the industry that, you know, numbers aren't quite as important as interacting, because it doesn't help you to follow a celebrity if that celebrity doesn't interact back with her clientele. And the analytics that Facebook and Instagram offers you lets you know their interaction ratios, because it doesn't help to follow people that don't at all follow back or don't post or comment back on comments that you post, right? You want to make sure that when you follow people organically, they're people that actually interact on social media that give you a better chance for your product to be not only seen, but read and commented on and shared, right? That's very big. And there's a completely different methodology for social media campaigns and social media marketing than when it comes to just growing your own business. So they're two different animals. You might be very good at sales and selling and getting clients, but since you don't have time to spend on social media, that part of your business is is not profitable or is not growing. And organically, if you want them to both grow, you have to dedicate some time, whether it's late at night or early in the morning, just, or during your coffee break, during the day, you have to spend time growing that base. And if you're able to grow that base, whenever you launch a new product or talk about a new platform, you're then able to have a bigger set of eyes that sees you at the beginning. That way you don't have to spend as much money advertising as need be. So it all depends on just what your business is and what your vision is and how much work you'd like to put into it. And that'll depict on how much money you need to spend or want to spend or can spend when you're growing your own platform. And if you guys want, you said you have 15 people on here. We can invest in half of everybody on here. Whatever the website cost is or the application cost is, we can cover half of that cost for you, and we can become your partner or just an advisor for you and help out. That way, at least you guys have like a kickstart in moving forward. It's something that I could have used 9 years ago, and I'm very glad that I can help out now if you guys need it or want it.
How would we be able to reach you?
Well, I do. You know what, Jose? Let me work on that really quick. But with Michael, before I overload him, I want to make sure he knows exactly what he's getting into. And since you're all my clients, I'm going to lay out how best he can communicate with you next. Does that sound fair? Because it's
very fair.
It's a lot. He's not looking at you guys the way that I am, which I can see all your little beautiful faces. But this is quite amazing, isn't it? And Michael, you and I will strategize because everybody on here has very specific needs. I know all of their needs because I coach all of them. And so let me give that to you in a much more organized fashion, since this is, to me, even a little overwhelming, but incredibly exciting. So do we think that the universe is working overtime tonight?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, and you know what I said to you guys? I know this sounds crazy, but one about manifesting your dreams bigger than you ever imagined, and truly in your mind seeing amazing things for yourself and those around you. That's what the last couple of days have been for me, with people who have left the planet. I just got to thank you, actually, from one of, I don't want to spoil it, but from somebody who noticed what I was doing for someone else today. Does that make sense? And I firmly believe that God has never talked to any of me or my friends through a burning bush, but perhaps we hear his voice through each other. Yes? Especially when you listen. I know how much you've all been touched. I know how much you've all shared with me. Let's give Michael a little bit of energy back so that he knows how we are together as a group and what this could mean for him being in a line with us. Silvana, what has being part of Forbes Factor done and meant for you? You're not muted, but we can't hear you.
I'll plug my headphones. Okay. Is it better? Is it better now? Okay. Well, first of all, Michael, I just want to say that I'm truly inspired by you and what you're doing in the world. And although your challenges and difficulties, you actually creating something which will just unlock a lot within entrepreneurial space, online and in person. Now, what Forbes
Thank you
Factor?
for those kind words. Thank you.
And I look forward to, as well, seeing how I can support you in your journey, in your business as well. Forbes Factor really unlocked a lot for me. I mean, Forbes as a woman is a huge inspiration to me. And when I met her, I felt like there is so much more that I should be doing and I haven't done. So she inspired me and reminded me of my worthiness. And during Forbes Factor, I was able to really, I would say, unfuck myself, because I was just so kind of like stuck in that.
Why does that sound so good in Polish? Unfuck myself? Is that what you just said?
Because it was just like, I just felt really, I don't even know if it makes sense, but it just felt like there was this, I didn't even know what was holding me back because I did so much work on myself already through all the high advanced trainings, mentoring, and other courses that I took over the last 10 years. And as a coach and mentor and teacher, I really wanted to expand the impact that I'm making, but not necessarily as a quantity, as a quality, to inspire other women and higher achievers to actually create businesses that are purpose driven, mission driven. But I've been playing too small. So what Forbes allowed me to do, what she helped me was to unlock basically something that was holding me back, which was related to my past experiences. And I thought actually I did already healed myself, but I realized that I haven't. So now I feel truly empowered. I've been already in my manifestation vortex prior to Forbes Factor, but what has been happening after is mind blowing. So it just helped me to really raise my awareness of what is possible and connecting with all these amazing, beautiful people here, and seeing what Forbes is doing for others and how much heart soul she's putting in her work. She's pouring her love into every single person that she needs. Doesn't matter if she's, in her space, in her studio in St. Petersburg, or she's at the conference. I saw her touching hearts of people who are 20 years old, 18 years old, and 70 years old. And she cares for everyone truly. I had an opportunity to see her in action here in Vegas at the conference, where those millennials were really touched by her. And although there is this gap difference, I mean, her wisdom and expertise can really help those kids, those young people who are being brainwashed by what is happening on social media, really start creating businesses that are really making change in other people's life. And she was the only speaker that I saw from 22 speakers that truly connected on a individual, caring, loving level with these guys. She actually was the first speaker who put everyone on feet and crying and cheering and dancing. And I'm so grateful to be part of this tribe, and I'm so grateful to actually have opportunity to spend this time with Forbes. And I'm really grateful that, Michael, you have opportunity to really be here, and I hope to see you on Forbes Factor. This would be awesome for you to join us.
That is a tremendous testimonial, and I'm glad that you were able to get so moved, and inspired and learn from what Forbes had to say. In my brief time with her, I was captivated already. So I understand what you mean. She's just an amazing person, and I'm glad to have spoken with her and met everybody here.
Well, and it's not all necessarily about me, and I appreciate that, because I've certainly taken a stand for the world, but also the group that we put together. Ms. Shelley Stucci, why don't you chime in and say hi to Michael as well?
Hey, Michael, I just want to first and foremost say thank you for taking the time and sharing a part of your world with us. It really was super interesting. Some of the people on this call know me. It's really gotten my gears going. I'm like, ooh, and then we can do this and that. Ooh, and what about this? And I love connecting ideas and people and monetizing things. So first of all, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
In terms of Forbes Factor and what that's done and what this group really represents, I think you're probably getting the sense that we're really just a group of people who wanted more for ourselves, and we were willing to go beyond the barriers that were holding us back. We recognized that there was a barrier of some sort that was holding us back, and despite working on it yourselves, sometimes you just need something extra, and that was what Forbes Factor did for a lot of us. I think I would echo what Silvana said about unfucking yourself. For me, that kind of was also the same.
That's a great phrase.
It's just like you constantly get in your own way, and there comes a time when somebody cares for you in too much to let you stay the way you are, right? That's what Forbes always says. And I think that's something that we all need. It's just like, get the F out of your own way. Like, don't you see? And that's what Forbes Factor kind of did for us. It was just like slap you in the face and let you recognize that you have greatness ahead of you if you just reach out and grab it. And so it's really been transformative for all of us, I'm sure. For me, I was in a September Forbes Factor. And so it's been 6 months, and I wake up every day and I'm like, I'm gonna get out there and kick ass, and I believe it. Whereas before, it's kind of like, the morning affirmations you do because that's what the books tell you. But now I really believe it, and I'm just kind of getting out there and kicking ass, and the weight that I used to carry around me isn't around anymore, and just it's so freeing. It's a great feeling. So I'm super happy that the universe brought you and Forbes together today and brought you to connect with the rest of us. I'm excited to connect with you, talk a little more, see how we can add value to each other's lives, and kind of see what is next. So thank you.
And AJ, I'll do you next. I do actually have one of the most amazing groups of people. And since I now organize this to be this tight group of leaders and people who have literally thrown their hat over the fence and are chasing it every day. Shelley, I just love what you just said, because you articulated the fact that everybody's now waking up with the morning ritual. Let's talk about gratitude, shall we? Let's do our affirmation. And it's bullshit, because you can say it until you're blue in the face. I'm going to share with you that until you go through a Forbes Factor experience, which everyone here except Michael knows what I'm talking about, and had somebody like me kick your ass, because you have so much more inside of you, and we are so conditioned to play small and accept no, and maybe one day, and all the I can'ts, and I don't know that the rest of the world. Michael, I have a class on the 17th to the 21st that I would love you to attend, because we are creating a group of like-minded individuals who don't talk. They live their actions, and then they show up on Wednesday for this hour, hour and a half, and allow us to continue to elevate them in a way that I've never been a part of, So I'm going to put that out there. Mr. AJ, you want to join in? Unmute. My darling, unmute.
I actually wanted to address the whole group right now. As I turn on the camera, I look at my face. I see what others might see as a sad face, or because there is a part of me that kind of feels that way. And I want you to know, this is the face of a winner, because I'm going through hell right now, and I'm showing up. I'm showing up, and I couldn't be so more proud of myself for stepping up right now. Yesterday, I told my wife that I wanted the divorce, and I'm going through hell over that. And at 5 a.m., I showed up for the gym, and I worked out. A couple of days ago, I was at an event speaking at the five-day event. I'm on the last day, last speaking slot, worst slot ever, after 8 speakers who were selling. I'm selling a $4,000 product. Everyone else sold a competitive product at $1,000 and sold a lot of the room. And I had odds against me. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to be unattached to the outcome. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to talk and I'm going to impact lives the way that I do it. Forget about what sales I do or do not make. It doesn't matter. Go out there and do it. And I rocked it. Last night, I got a text from Marshall. And although I've been top sales at his events before, I've never got the acknowledgement. And I got a text from him that said, congratulations, you were the top closer there. And so with all odds against me, selling a product 4 times more than anyone else, in the worst slot possible, I became top sales. In the midst of going through hell, it's about showing up and doing it. So although what you're seeing is not really a sad face, it's a worn out face, because I'm using every bit of energy and heart I've got to get out there and make things happen. And so this is not a sad face. This is a worn out face from victory, for putting it out there. And I just wanted to share that with you, because it's community connection that keeps me on the straight. And it's people like this group. And I'm really thankful for Forbes, thankful for the group. And that's what I want to say.
Dolly, why don't you just
Tremendous story.
Dolly, say something to AJ because I know you want to.
AJ, when you first, told me at Force Factor, kind of a little bit into what was going on with you, my heart went out to you, and I know how hard the decision that you had to do was on you. And I just want to say how friggin' proud I am of you. Like, you knew what you wanted, regardless of how scary it is, and not knowing, you knew that you deserved to be happy. And I'm so friggin' proud of you. I really am. And I know that you are meant for so much greatness, and you have so much to offer the world. And I'm excited to see where you go from here, because you just cut away something that was holding you down. And I can't wait. I can't wait.
Thank you.
And my daughter just walked in and told me that she won her flag football game, and she played every position, and she's as happy as she's been in a very long time. And AJ, I thank you so much for sharing and being here. And I love the fact that we're also kind of holding testament to show this new person how wonderful we are and how supportive we can be. And so welcome to the game of life. Apparently there is no real winner at the end of this board game. You just get to play full out. Mariano, I haven't talked to you in a while, man. Tell me what.
Tell you a win.
Candy's not crying again, is she? That's like the third time this hour she's cried. And Michael, you know what? You should reach out and touch Candy, because Candy's a very special woman who has a very unique challenge and the biggest heart of everybody here. Kind of an interesting combination for her. Mr. Mariano, chime in. Talk to me, brother.
So my win for today, I got 2. Do you know who Andy Frisella is?
Of course I know Andy.
Okay. Well, I'm doing the 75 Heart Challenge, and I'm completing my 7th day today, so that's a huge win. And on top of that, too, today I got a random check in the mail for not a lot of money, but this is money I didn't do work for, because it's like completely leverage income. It's $117 that I did absolutely nothing for.
And that is how wins start. Tell everybody how old you are.
I'm 26 years old.
You're 26 years old, yeah. So that's very important. By the way, I remember the morning that I woke up from playing around with ClickFunnels one night and had a random check of $2,400 and thought, God, this is good. So yes, my brother, congratulations. Here's my advice to you. Play even bigger. I know you think you're playing big, but I'm going to tell you, you still don't. You do not expect to win the way I expect you to win. Okay? Because, and I know that because I just heard that in my voice, that I will say some win as though it surprised me. Can we stop being surprised by winning? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I know, right? Dolly just had a huge light bulb go off. Yes, can we stop being surprised by winning as though that is the least of what we should expect every day? We, in fact, like AJ, we expect one of the shoes to fall when it's really good, don't we, as a group? Yes, we do. When it gets too good, we're always a little too nervous. I can feel it in myself, but we'll wait. But if you continue to expect to win as big as possible. So a woman walked into my office today out of I do not know where this blessing came from. She's 25 years old. She does events for women in 85 different countries. She is part Mexican, part something else that made this beautiful combination. She is me 34 years ago, walked into the door with a Spanish accent. She's already done these 200 to 300 to 500 person events. And she's like, I just need a Forbes Riley. And I'm like, I know where you can get one. And then, no, this is even better, because you guys know that I have this strange ability that like Silvana said, I guest speak in front of a lot of young boys who are 16 to 22. And I get to be a role model. Don't know why grandma's doing so well, but she's on fire. And so she said to me, I just got this other client called Social X. Okay, this is now time number 6 that I've heard Social X in my ear. Every one of my young boys, from Casey Adam to Jeremy Haynes to all the young guys, they're all at this. And Social X is in my hometown. I don't know how to get invited. You know what her conversation on the way out is? Going, Forbes, you're going to be the opening speaker for all of these guys. I'm going to make that happen for you. I'm sorry, Grubhub. All I did was ask for it. All I didn't, that's it. I very specifically said, I'm going to be at this event speaking. How big is your miracle? How big is your declaration that it makes you almost sick to your stomach when you go, oh my God, can I really ask for that? So everybody right now, take a quick moment and type it in right next door. I don't care what it is. I want to see all the chats. I want to see one from every single person. Doris, don't leave the room if you even have to pee. I want, because it's already 8:10. Write in one declaration right now so I can see where everybody is. That's number one. Number two, I am back for the next 3 weeks here in town. I have some follow-up schedules that I need to do with everybody. So Chuck and I, are going to put tonight, put the schedule out and open it up for the next 2 weeks for you guys to book your follow-up hours for those of you who have not. I do not have a Forbes Factor filled for May. That means every time you invite somebody, you get another check for $500. I've written out a couple of them so far. I need to write out some more checks. So the genius that you're experiencing, share with somebody. Call up somebody, go, hey, how's it going in your life? How's it going in your business? And listen to the words they use. Listen to the way that you know how to tweak them to elevate them. Because from where they are to where they could be is in their languaging, is in the, I don't know, I can't, it's tough, the economy sucks, my husband left, who cares? And if that is what the difference is, and you'll hear it in every single person you talk to, say, hey, by the way, I've got a $500 scholarship for you that Forbes is offering to me as one of her clients. I get one of these, and I'd like it to be you. Would that be okay? Give a gift to somebody, open the door of possibility, and if you want them to come join us or talk to Daphne or myself or Chuck, we're happy to do that. I want this room to be filled with extraordinary people. It continues to get better and better in a way that my mind is going, oh my God, what a gift. So AJ, thank you for stepping up and stepping in. Michael, do you have any closing words for everybody?
Everybody's story so far has sounded amazing. And, you know, I'm applauding you guys. I know you can't see me. I apologize. I'm on a landline. But it's just, your stories are hitting home with me. And I look forward to helping each and every one of you if I can. And if not, it's still a great network of people to have and to speak to, just to bounce ideas off one another. You know, sometimes that's all it takes. And I'm glad to be part of it.
Well, and I thank that. Is there anyone else who did not say something to Michael that they would like to, or to AJ, or anything else in closing? Everybody just raise your hand if you want to. Candy, anything you want to say, go for it. I can feel you.
Thank you, Michael, for awesome speech. It's my pleasure to meeting you, and then I'm looking forward to work with you and to spend more time talking with you. And I hope I can learn more stuff from you. And AJ, I just want to say I'm very proud of you, brother. You are amazing. You are strong, and just want to let you know I'm always here for you. So if you need more help, more talk, don't hesitate it. Call me or text me. And I love each one of you. Thank you.
Well, oh my God, it must be my lucky day because Tucker has taken time out of his massively busy schedule to grace us with his presence. I see he's in the car. Michael, I know, brother. Hey, you know what? Tucker, what you don't know, you don't know who Michael is, and you are going to want to watch this audio, this recording. Do me a favor, go back and watch this recording. Chuck will check it to you. You must hear who Michael is and what the teaching was tonight, because you, of all the people I know, your little head's going to go pop. Now, so, and Tucker, since you're here for a second, why don't you tell Michael, who you don't know necessarily, what your experience of Forbes Factor has been?
Oh, can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah. What's up, Forbes Riley and the Forbes Factor team? My experience at Forbes, oh my God, like, I was thinking about this the other day. I took the investment. I didn't know what I was going to get out of it. I saw Forbes speak, and I was just like, I got to be in her presence. And it's been almost a year, and I'm a totally different man. You know, what I got there was confidence. And you can't put the price on that. I've made, you know, tens of thousands of dollars after quitting my job, after meeting Forbes. And it's all because I'm now confident in myself. I let a ton of baggage and shit go. And I feel like I'm on top of the world. I wake up every day inspired. And, you know, that is what Forbes Factor did to me.
Well, and I love you for that, brother. And I got to tell you, when you hear what Michael has to offer us and who he is, you will understand that Forbes Factor is real. It just is real. So on that note, we've taken a little bit of extra time tonight. I'm looking at some declarations. I've got AJ declaring he's going to roll 2 people into his next event and 2 people into Forbes Factor. Shelly is that she declares a 100-unit real estate deal this year. I would trunk it up to what do you, I love that. That is actually 100-unit. That's a good one. That can make you a little sick to your stomach. I like that. Silvana, I don't see you over here. I need you guys to do this before we leave tonight. A dream that's making you so big. So Oprah by March. We're in March. By March. I'm still working on that one.
I wanted to add another. I didn't want to contain myself to just one.
Go ahead.
So I want to do, I mean, I love all the men. I love all you men. But I want to do a super badass day women's event with you.
Okay, well, so to that event, let me share something with you, and that I will reach out to you because our woman named Ingrid is doing that. She already has a couple scheduled for this year, international women. She has Kenyan women, which is kind of crazy because I speak Swahili. Damobana habari gani, Missouri Sani, don't even know why I know all that. But, and I know, right? Hello. And next year, her event will have 1,000 people here in Tampa. So I'm going to connect the two of you. Let me tell you something. She can do this. My other girl, Linda Kane, who I met on the Marketer Cruise, organizes Tony Robbins type events. So that's a done deal. And I'm looking around at all my women. So from Dolly, Candy, Silvana, the answer is yes. We can invite our boys to sit in the back. You know, I did an event with Oprah a while ago. There were 5,000 women, and she did acknowledge the 15 men that were gracious enough to sit in the audience with them. So it's never just for all girls. Doris, get sales up to 5,000 a month. I love that. Guys, yes, Candy, I declare to help 10 or more people. Don't do 10 or more, just do 10. Let's get actionable, specific. You guys, I need to nail you down to specific. But right now, and Michael, I know you don't have one of these, but I would like everyone to take out their trusted spin gym because I need to go find a song. I do not think that we're working out enough.
Forbes, before we start, may I just say something very quickly? It's quite important. And everyone, I just want to say, guys, that I would really love your support and teamwork on this one. What I wrote here, it's a huge goal, and this is something that I've actually haven't ever achieved before. And this is something in front of me. I'm super excited, which is over 100K in my next big online launch through my coaching business, and that will also allow me to apply for E2 visa, which is investor visa. Now, because my business visa is ending in August, after speaking with my lawyer, I have the next 2 months to show that investment on my account to begin the process of E2 so I can actually live here and transform lives and do all these fun, great things. So I also want you to know that you're very, very lucky to be able to be here and have opportunities like that. I have to work, and this 100K is what I need to do to be able to make it happen for myself within the next 60 days.
Done deal. And I will tell you, between Michael and the other brains here, just hang in there. Make sure you book your next appointment, and done. Just hold that it's done. I know you, and I know what we can do. So Michael, you'll just have to pretend you can imagine what a spin gym looks like.
Yes, yes.
Well, I wish I had a short-term memory. I wish the only thing my eyes could see was the picture burning right in front of me. But I can't stop looking back. Yeah, I wish I was a perfect picture of somebody who's never not good enough. But I try to measure up, but I mess it up. And I wish I wasn't like that. I wish I wasn't wishing anymore. I wish I could I can't go on. I don't know what to do. I gotta do something. yeah.